it is not just paper and pen or chalk or blackboard, there are other costs. During COVID, there was no hike. You and I know, we've done many shows together on this. But 30% hike, Shashi, have a heart. It's too much. If I have two children studying.
Definitely, Sudha ma'am, we don't take that 30%, 40%, even 25%. It is absolutely, we don't consider it because we also condemn it. There are few schools who have this bad practice. What is the logic in raising 25, 30%? We are unsure. And second thing is, if the parents are raising their voice, let them come with the evidence and file a case on them to the education department. Have a thorough investigation on the accounts of income and expenditure. They have all rights. Why do they come with openly or commonly? That is not acceptable. But second point where I am defending is, year on year 8 to 15% is a common thing, because for example, a school charging 1 lakh, 2 lakh, they may rise around 8-10%. The school charging by and large, because more than 95% schools who charge between 20, 30, 40, 50,000, they may rise by between 10 to 15%, not beyond that. Even earlier, our government orders were also very specific that you should not rise beyond 15%.
But what
This is
about
one thing
30% now? 30%
I
has happened.
condemn, we want
And
that
this is
evidence.
Shashi, tell me, this is excluding the transportation cost. Has petrol
I,
gone up?
I
No,
ask
has
these
petrol. Look
parents.
at the man today in Bengaluru. You are paying more for bus. You are paying more for metro. There is, price hike everywhere. Has the petrol diesel prices gone up? The thing is that a common man will only say, why are you hiking it when inflation has also gone up so much? Where do I go? I have to educate my child in a
No, no,
good
no.
school.
See, this is illogical. Say, because where do they go then? Who has to bear the burden? See, even we are being raised simultaneously. Ours is not just a salary. Ours is not just a chalk and blackboard. It is beyond that. There are 55 components of expenditure head in school now. It is earlier. See, even government has given, it has declared only five common components, which has been a cheating to the layman, saying that ours is 16,000 of per child expenditure. It goes beyond that. Their per child expenditure is beyond 65, 70,000. Nowadays, schools expenditure recurring cost is 1,30,000 plus 6 years back. We are not comparing that. We are saying that not only just salary of a teacher, even our buses or our vehicles for using school, it is going 100, 150% of hike
Yeah,
every year
Shashi.
on year on
Yeah,
insurance.
Shashi,
We
but
are
you are
also
saying,
facing the same
Shashi, you are saying,
electricity,
yeah,
BWSSD, prorata
Shashi
charges,
Kumar.
greater Bangalore charges, and safety security. These are being increased. Forget about that. The government giving textbooks, they charge every year on year 25 to 30% hike. Who is going to ask this? This
I
is our
understand.
pain.
But
See, there are various.
Shashi Kumar, what I gather from what you're saying is that the hike has to happen annually. You're saying every year there has to be a hike because we are facing all these costs that you said, the obvious cost and the unobvious cost. But the point of the matter is, I wonder if it is even okay to raise the fees every year, Shashi. There has to
Yes,
be a
it
way
is
out.
uninvitable.
Arey,
So the uninvitable. Every year you have to pay the hike for the teachers. There is no excuse on that. And all other expenditure head, year on year it increases. Even our registration charges, renewal of recognition, everything has been 10 folds increased. You believe it or not, this is again in Karnataka. It is the other scenario. Every year you bring with, every month you bring with new regulations. That is the other part of story. But what I'm saying is a reasonable increase, which is within the ambit of government norms, which was earlier there. That is okay, because it was very practically, it was very thing. It was discussed and it was brought into conclusion that 10 to 15% is reasonable. But anybody going beyond that, we condemn them, and it is not right. and parents have all rights to ask them. And my personal request is, why parents go and fall in this to 2 to 3% of schools who exorbitantly, commercially charge the fees? Why do you go? Why do you should cut down, then they will come down. Because and another big component which I want to bring into light, the government is giving enough supply, so that what is happening, per child expenditure is again harming, because per child expenditure is increasing, because children are less in numbers for admission, number of schools have increased, RTE reimbursement has a very negative with that. That is adding another 8 to 10% on the
All
rest
right.
of the
Okay.
75 to that.
Shashi also
Even that is
joining
an
us.
important
Right,
point.
right. Points made by Shashi Kumar. Anubha Srivastav Sai, President, India White Parent Association, has also joined us. Anubha, good to see you. Anubha, we were waiting for you, but whatever time is there, and your voice is extremely important for us. Do you think this hike, 30% hike, Shashi is saying there has to be an annual hike. He says, I have to give teachers their hike every year. There are other costs which are involved. Some parents feel that annual hike, hike should be pegged to the inflation rate. Meri salary nahi badi, there is inflation, but still you hike the prices. Also 30% is preposterous, don't you think, Anubha? If I have 3 children studying, then I have to sit on the streets and beg, I think.
Actually, I would thank you for having me on this show. And see, I don't know how come they have hiked 30%. Even in Maharashtra, one school hiked around 30%, and they were giving the same reason that we have not increased during COVID. And then we took the matter to before DFRC, this Divisional Fee Regulatory Committee. And after proper audit, it was found that there was huge surplus, more than 6 crore surplus lying with that school. And then the fee was reduced to 5% hike. So as far as the schools in Karnataka is concerned, I am 100% sure, and I am well aware. I am connected with parents in Karnataka also. I know what is the scene in Karnataka, and the schools are rising fees without getting their statements audited with the education department and all the authorities which are there. So without getting your audit statement approved from the education department and the fee regulatory committee, the school should not hike the fees.